Think we're live. Think we're live. What's good, y'all? This is my first YouTube live stream. Don't know how consistent this is gonna be, but I had this idea, so I was like, you know what? Might as well try it out. I have gone live a few times on Twitch, but yeah, like I said, this is my first YouTube live, so hopefully it goes well. I don't have too much really planned for all of this. Basically, I'm just gonna be bouncing around the league, talk about the games that are gonna be coming on tonight, talk about some of the games that were last night, a few other things. But yeah, let's just get right into it. Also, my computer screen's over here, but my camera's over here, so it might be a little weird looking back and forth. But yeah, I had a few things that I wanted to start off with. This is tonight's games, but real quick, I wanted to go into last night's games because there were some crazy ones. The one that I really watched the most of was definitely this Lakers Magic game. This was a crazy game just because the fact that it ended with two blown coverages by the Orlando Magic. They were up in this game. Obviously, the first one. Let me see if I can actually. Oh yeah, I'd be able to check it by just clicking like this. This first one. Oh, that is loud. Let me lower that a little bit. Yeah, but this one, LeBron, they blew this coverage badly here. Like I don't even know how this happens. I get they're trying to watch Austin Reeves here with like that little brush screen, but the fact that Tristan Da Silva and Jalen Suggs both go for him, that leaves Brown wide open. Marcus Smart floated it a little bit too much, I would say maybe. Prime Bron's probably catching this as a lob and then just going through with it. But obviously, Paolo makes a great recovery. Oh, I didn't mean to do all that. Paolo makes a great recovery and gets the block. Honestly, in this, they're not going to show the replay, but it kind of looked like he got fouled there. So, Magic get bailed out, but then obviously we all know what actually happened, the final shot. And that was Luke Kennard, which Luke Kennard, he has been really good for the Lakers, but the Magic blew the first coverage, and then they blow this one too. I don't know why this starts off so late. But yeah, I saw Luke was actually talking about it. He was just being a decoy on the screen. He was being a decoy on this play, but they both went for Bron because, honestly, he kind of has a step on them. Obviously, Luke is wide open here, so that's the right play to make. But yeah, Paolo and Desmond Bane both go for Bron. And then, wide open for the league leader. Luke Kennard is the best, percentage-wise, the best three-point shooter in the NBA. And you're this wide open for a shot. You're up two. So, even if you want to open up... I'll get better with these clicks, by the way. I don't mean to keep, clicking in and out. But you're up two, and you let the league leader in three-point percentage wide open for the game winner. Definitely tough. I mean, the Magic have been kind of catching their stride a little bit more recently. But when you look at the standings here, they are down to the 8th seed after that loss. It's really jumbled up between Atlanta, Philly, Orlando, Miami. You can even throw Charlotte in there as well. Toronto, actually, I didn't even realize they're 39 and 32. So 39 and 30 as well, not 39 and 32. So yeah, basically 5 through 10, super close in the Eastern Conference. Obviously, you have a little bit of a separation up here, but the Cavs are really gaining ground on my Knicks. The Knicks obviously have been close with Boston pretty much the whole year, and then you have Detroit at the top of the league. That Cade Cunningham injury stuff, I am really concerned for the Pistons. Might as well just click onto their name right here, their team. I am really concerned for the Pistons just because without a guy like Cade Cunningham, he has been playing some of the best basketball he ever has in his career. Without him, I really think the Pistons could struggle to create consistent offense. I've talked about that before Cade even went down. With Cade Cunningham in the lineup, that's something that the Pistons really struggle with. Shout out to Dennis Jenkins. He has been pretty solid throughout this year. I know he's hit a little bit of highs, a little bit of lows. Overall, on the year, though, I would definitely say Dennis Jenkins is a pleasant surprise. But last year, when the Pistons made when they made the playoffs and they were in that first round matchup versus my Knicks, one of the biggest concerns for me as a Knicks fan watching that series was when Dennis Schroeder came off the bench and his intensity that he brought both sides of the ball, defensively and then also as a ball handler, really relieved a lot for Cade Cunningham. Obviously, he signed a new contract and he's been moved around. He's on different teams. So Dennis Jenkins really stepped up and was good in that aspect of it. But also, if he's your starting point guard going into the playoffs, if Cade's not healthy for that, that's definitely a little bit of a concern. But outside of Dennis, I mean, you have a guy like Karis LeVert, who's a shot creator. Obviously, he hasn't had the best season so far this year, but we all know that Karis LeVert definitely can create his own shot. They've been having Kevin Huerter in some lineups now. That Cade's not there to add just more perimeter shot creation. But as you see here, he's shooting 19%. Obviously, he hasn't had a consistent role or anything, and that's a big part of when you're a shooter. Having that consistent role can go a long way for you. So maybe having more PT will get him back on the road. I actually want to see how has he been playing in these last few games that he's been getting a little bit more consistent role since Cade's been out. You see these last few games right here. He's had, anywhere from 15 to 25 minutes per game. Still not the best. Obviously, like we said, since he's got traded, he's been kind of in and out. So, we'll give him a little bit to kind of get back into the groove of things. The Pistons, I do think, depending on how they close out this year, things could get pretty sketchy. Because when you look at, let's go look at how close Boston is. Yeah, they are 4 games behind Detroit, and there's 12-ish games left in the season. Definitely would be an upwards battle, but I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility. Let me look up Pistons schedule. I want to see what games they have coming up to see if it's a real reality. Like, can Boston or New York or even Cleveland, probably not, but can one of those teams catch them, or will they be able to just kind of hold on? Shout out Dunkin' Donuts. I got my Knicks tote this morning. I don't know if you guys knew about that, but Dunkin' Donuts was giving out a Knicks tote. I'll go grab that in a second and show you guys. But tomorrow they play the Lakers. The Lakers are red hot right now. I know we were just talking about their game with the Orlando Magic. That could be a loss. I don't know for sure, but that's definitely a tough game. The Hawks, they just lost pretty badly to the Rockets, but before that they were on 11-game win streak, so that could be a tough game. Pelicans, they should win. Timberwolves, another tough game. Thunder, tough game. Raptors, that could go either way. I was just showing you guys how the Raptors are really close in that, that 5 to 10 range, so that could be a tough game. Timberwolves, another tough game. Magic, Hornets. I'm not gonna lie, the Pistons have some pretty rough games to close the year out. They do have some, guaranteed wins, if you want to say it like that. Obviously, with how much talent's in the league, there are no guarantee wins. But a team like the Pacers, they're trying to lose. A team like the Pelicans, they're not trying to lose, but they are one of the worst teams in the league. So, that should be one of their easier games. I don't really know what's going on with Philly right now, when Tyrese is going to be coming back, when Embiid is going to be back. I don't know. But a lot of these games are pretty tough. Specifically, 2 games versus the Timberwolves, this game versus the Thunder, the Lakers right here. The Hornets could be a pretty tough game towards the end of the year. Depending on seedings and everything, they could be going really heavy for that. I just, honestly, it could be pretty tough. Definitely could be pretty tough. Hold on. Let me see what this is saying. Again, bear with me. This is my first YouTube stream. So hopefully everything's going pretty well. I think we're good. I think we're valid. I think. If anyone's in here, type W in the chat. I don't know. I think we're good though. I think. One of the things I did want to go on here and do are these immaculate grids. I know there's a bunch of different ones. Again, sorry, I know the camera and my computer are 2 different things. But these have been one of my favorite things to do on a daily. So I wanted to try doing one live. Here we have all 6 categories being teams, which is pretty cool. I find it pretty hard once it's a stat because it's like, average 10 rebounds per game, and you have to do it for that season, and it's pretty tough because some guys average like 9.7, doesn't count. With teams, though, we should be able to do this. I got to think out loud, which would be, it makes it a little harder, but I think I'll be valid to do this. We have the Nuggets, the Wizards, the Celtics, then we have the Clippers, the Grizzlies, and the Cavs. I don't know where I want to start off with. I don't know why when I'm thinking of the Clippers, I automatically think of Joakim Noah, just because he is like a low-key guy, but he hasn't played for any of these teams. I do have DeAndre Jordan in this slot right here. Don't want to go right away with that, just because, obviously I feel like that would be towards the top of people's minds. Jeff Green, did he play for the Clippers? I'm thinking of JaMychal Green, actually. Is it J-A? I don't know how to spell JaMychal Green. My fault, JaMychal. JaMychal Green. Bang, 2%. Solid start so far. What's up, Steven? See you in the chat. Now Clippers Wizards. I was thinking Kelly Olynyk. He never played for the Clippers though. Who else? Wizards, Clippers. Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook can be on this, but I feel like he's kind of a top of mind guy as well. Montrezl Harrell could be used here, but I don't know how high on the totem pole he would be when people think about Wizards Clippers guys. Chris Paul almost was able to do this, but obviously the Jordan Poole trade saves him from being included in here. I don't want to spend too much time. I'm trying to think, do I want to use Russell Westbrook? No, definitely not Russell Westbrook. It would be Montrezl Harrell, if anything. Taj Gibson, has he played for... Taj Gibson. Taj Gibson right here. Bang, 1% Taj Gibson. Shout out to Knicks legend Taj Gibson. Got a lot of love for Taj. I guess we'll try to just do this diagonal line here then, since we're rocking with that. Cavs, Celtics. Obviously, you have Isaiah Thomas. You have Kyrie Irving. You have a bunch of other people that I can't think of right now. Jeff Green. Jeff Green's included in here. Which one do I want to use? I guess Jeff Green would be able to use for the Nuggets Cavs as well. So put that in the back of the mind. But Cavs Celtics. If you guys are in the chat, you have any ideas, let me know as well. I don't know if that's considered cheating actually or not, using you guys. But, it could be fun just to be interactive with this. Back to it though. Cavs Celtics, we have guys like, I thought of Damian Dotson. He never played for the Celtics though. Shout out, another Knicks legend. A guy that played for the Cavs, Joe Harris. I'm thinking of guys like low-key guys that played for the Cavs. Why the only solidified people that I have right now are Isaiah Thomas and Kyrie Irving. Who else works for this? Javonte Green. Did Javonte Green ever play for the Celtics? I think he did. I don't want to get this wrong. But I'm pretty sure Javonte Green. I spelled that wrong. No, he's right there. Javonte Green. I know he played for the Cavs. Can I envision him in a Celtics uniform? Yes, but also, am I making that up in my mind? Maybe yes also. I don't want to risk it. I don't want to risk it yet. I feel like he did, but I don't know. We're going to skip that for now. I'm going to do... I feel like people know that Jeff Green won also, so I want to hold off for that. KCP. Caldwell Pope. How do you spell that? Caldwell. Kentavious Caldwell Pope. 5%. All right, not bad. Again, we could use the Jeff Green here. Let's try to get these Wizards guys out the way, I guess. Wizards, Cavs. Wizards, Cavs could be... Wizards, Cavs... Wizards players... Marvin Bagley. He never played for the Cavs, but that's a name. We got Tristan Thompson. He never played for the Wizards, but again, it's a name. Cavs, Wizards. Cavs, Wizards. I feel like this one's a little bit tougher. Cavs, Wizards. We have guys like one of the keys when I do this. I try to think if there's any trades that happened recently between these players or these teams. Wizards and Cavs. I don't believe there were any trades recently, at least not off the top of my head. And when I think it's just tough because so many players recently for the Wizards have just been super young, where they really only have played for the Wizards. Some of the vets they've had recently, I guess, were Marcus Smart. He never played for the Cavs. Obviously, Chris Middleton's part of that vet core. He never played for the Cavs. I guess let's try to think of Cavs players because we have no Cavs unlocked on this so far. It really sucks. Tristan Thompson never played for any of these teams. Like, I feel like he should have. Oh, JaVale McGee. JaVale McGee works for both of these, I think. He played for the Cavs, right? I'm not bugging. JaVale McGee. And I guess we could use Rondo here. Did Rondo ever play for the Nuggets? Am I imagining that? Did Rondo play for the... Alright, I'm going to use Uncle Jeff here. Uncle Jeff Green, finally. 11%. Yeah, I kind of figured he would be up there, which kind of sucks. It is what it is, though. Rajon Rondo. There we go. All right, we just banged that out real quick. Got the Cavs done. I am pretty pissed that Jeff Green's over 10%. I was trying to go single-digit percentage on all these, but it is what it is. Now we have Grizzlies Celtics. Oh, I just had one in my head. Oh, my God, I just had one in my head, and he left. He entered my head for literally a split second, and then just gone. Oh, damn, that's going to piss me off. It was like one of their wings. There was a wing that played for Memphis and then went to... I keep thinking Josh Minot, but he came from the Timberwolves. There was someone else, bro. Ooh, that's going to piss me off. All right. Back to it. We have Clippers still in here, too. We got a Clipper Wizard and a Clipper Celtic. Clipper Wizard, Clipper Celtic. This definitely is good to get the brain moving early in the morning. I mean, early, it's about to be 11 o'clock at this point, but, it's the weekend. I slept in a little bit. Clippers, Wizards. I feel like that should be easier than what it is. Or I did say we had Montrezl Harrell. I guess I'll just pull the trigger on Montrezl Harrell. 1%. Wow. I guess people forget that Montrezl played for the Wizards. He was included in that Russell Westbrook trade, though. It was him, KCP, and Kuzma for Russell Westbrook. So that's what I'm talking about, too. I said before, I try to think of if there was trades. That's kind of the easy way to do it. Montrezl Harrell obviously he didn't go Clippers to Wizards. He went Clippers to Lakers to Wizards. But still, those trades kind of help you just, jog the brain a little bit. So now we just have Celtics players left. Celtics, Clippers, and Celtics, Grizzlies. Xavier Tillman works. I guess we could try that. Xavier Tillman, 5%. All right, that's solid. All right, just Boston, LA. One more to go. And then we complete this first try with a pretty good score. Again, Jeff Green kind of pisses me off. It's above 10%, but it is what it is. Clippers, Celtics. I don't know why I'm thinking of like Mo Harkless. He never played for the Celtics. Avery Bradley works. Should we just go Avery Bradley? Avery Bradley, where you at, my boy? Be under 10%, please. We don't even know what it is. 2%. Honestly, rarity of 33, that's really solid. That's really, really, really solid. Am I not even signed in? Oh, Marcus Smart was heavy. I honestly didn't even think of Marcus Smart for the Wizards Grizzlies, honestly. I know I even mentioned him before, but I didn't even think about him for the Grizzlies. He was the most high-known one. J.R. Smith, that makes sense, yeah. I'm not even... I don't want this to... No. All right, let me hide the screen real quick because I don't want anything. I don't think anything crazy is going to show up, but I don't want to leak, you know. Because I do want to show my stats because I'll be locked in. I'm not going to hold you. I'll definitely be locked into this. So let me sign in real quick, and then we should be valid. All right, yeah, here we go. Where... I usually play on my phone though. But why can I not see? Oh, more stats. Goofy. As you guys see, I don't play every day, but we had this 17. This, I think, is my highest score low-key ever. Wait, now it's up to 22? Oh, I guess because, obviously percentages change and everything. This one I was pretty happy with. Like I said, with the Clippers, I do think of Joakim Noah just because not a lot of people remember that he played in the bubble. But that one was pretty cool. Christian Wood was on here, Gary Trent. I'm surprised Gallinari was only 0.8%, but I guess he only played a few games towards the end of his career with the Bucks, so people don't think about that. Justice Winslow, I thought that was a pretty solid poll. Shout out Trent Watford as well, Summer League MVP. He beat my Knicks in the Summer League Finals and won MVP, so I solidified know him as a Blazer because of that. Terrence Mann, Markieff Morris as a 0.3. But I highly recommend you guys try this out if you don't already. This is really, really fun. I like doing this. As you guys can see here, my top used players. Jay Crowder, journeyman, love to use him, I guess. Christian Wood is a little bit of a surprise, but, shout out to him. JaVale McGee, we just used him in this last one. Dennis Schroeder, shout out Josh Hart. Randy Smith, too. Going down this rabbit hole for a second here. Randy Smith. You see what this says right here? Bellport, New York. You guys know where I'm from? Bellport, New York. Randy Smith went to my high school, which is crazy. Obviously, he didn't go to high school with me. He got drafted in the 70s, so it's been a while. But when I was in gym class, in our big gymnasium, we had a banner that said Randy Smith retired his number. And the fact that a two-time All-Star, an All-NBA player, and an All-Star MVP went to my high school, I feel like that's pretty cool. And he had a really solid career, too. He did play for my Knicks for one season, so shout out to him. But yeah, overall, two-time All-Star. He was an MVP voter, or MVP. He got MVP votes. Votee. Is that how you would say that? Candidate? Probably just candidate, yeah. But in this, let's see. He got 1 point. No first place votes. I guess it's hard to keep track of all the exact places. Kareem won this year, so shout out to that. Bob McAdoo, Rick Barry, and Walt Frazier. He got some votes. Another one of my GOATs right here. I love Walt Frazier. My first Knicks game that I ever went to, I met Walt Frazier, or my uncle. We got tickets in 2018, so the Knicks were really, really garbage. He actually bought the tickets like the day before Kristaps Porzingis got hurt and was out for the season and played his last game for the Knicks. So that really sucked. But we got there. It was versus the Magic, and we were like right on the baseline. And Walt Frazier pregame was over there because I assume he was announcing that game or whatever. And my uncle was just like, yo, that's Walt Frazier. Go over there, take a pic. He's a really nice guy, whatever. I'm sure he won't mind. So I was like, all right. I think I was like 15, 16 at the time. Walked over to him. I was like, hey, Walt, can I get a picture? He just said, yeah, right away. I went, cheese, took a picture. And then now, never seen him play a second of basketball in my life, obviously. But I listen to him almost every single game that he commentates for the Knicks, and big part of my Knicks fandom, listening to Mike Breen and Clyde Frazier. It's amazing. That just made me think about it. We're going to watch some Clyde Frazier highlights. That is what we're going to do. Frazier. Don't make fun of my typing. I'm not the best typer. Let's be honest. Clyde Frazier clutch finals performance. It's 30 seconds. All right. No, come on. Career highlights 30 minutes. Now we dragged it. Um, full highlights of a 26-7. No, bro. I want. All right, 3 minutes. Walt Frazier highlights. Now we're locked in. Hopefully this isn't too loud. I don't know. Again, first YouTube stream. Hopefully you guys can still hear me over this. Let's go Walt Frazier, bro. Let's go Walt Frazier. Wow, this I knew what I was kind of getting into, but this quality is crazy. I'm not gonna hold you. For the win. What a lay. All right, yeah. All right, yeah. Hold on. Hold on, Clyde. Hold on, Clyde. That one was crazy. I guess. What's the quality on this one? All right. Is that an MSG? MSG Network. They had to have gotten them right. This one's 20 minutes, so we're not gonna watch the full 20 minutes. But is this a documentary, bro? I just want to watch highlights. I just want to watch highlights of Clyde Frazier. Well, I guess we'll watch the one game mix and see how he was cooking the Bullets. He was cooking the Bullets. This was the year the Knicks won the championship, so this should be cool. No 3-point line, crazy. Nice pull up though, in his face. I don't know if I can recognize a single person on the Bullets, but we'll try to see. A little serendipity there for Clyde. Shout out Clyde. But he really had that mid-range pull-up, I guess. Go rebound. Here we go. Oh, all right. Crazy defense right there. Yeah, number 11. You got to pick up ball. Someone's got to pick up ball. That was wild. What I do know from Clyde is obviously great defender. He was really good at getting steals. Rebounded the ball pretty well for a guard. He passed really well. And I'm finding out right here, he had a mid-range pull-up. He was able to just raise right up there. Oh, good take. Yo, teach Mikal how to do that, bro. Get a lab with Mikal a little bit. Good steals, cookies. Head on a swivel. Yep, kick out. Bang. Was that Bradley? Bill Bradley? Could have been. Could be chatting right there, too. Could have been Bill Bradley, though. Clear out. I can't tell if that's Bill Bradley or not. But Clyde just distributing. Oh, good board. Hey. Shout out Clyde, man. What a player. What a guy. What a man. Yeah, the spacing is so ugly, though. So ugly. Oh, and one. Yeah, you know he's going to knock down the free throws. Yup. I will say, obviously this is way back in the past. This is the 70s. I did watch what year was that when the Knicks played the Rockets in the finals? 94? I think it was 94. Either 93 or 94. I watched one of those full games. And obviously basketball has changed a lot over the years. But the one thing I will say, the pace of that game was really dope. That was another good rebound for Clyde. The pace of that game was really, really dope. There wasn't any, I don't want to say foul baiting because I know that could start a whole conversation in and itself. But there was no looking for fouls. If there was a foul that was called, it was because the defense just did that, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense, but they weren't ever looking to draw a foul. They were just playing their game, and sometimes they got fouled. And I will say that obviously brings the amount of fouls down and allows there to be more up and down pace. So it was just more of a constant flow. Nowadays, obviously, especially when it gets down to crunch time, end of quarter situations, end of game situations, there's a lot of timeouts, challenges, free throws, fouls, whatever. And it just kind of extends the game and makes it less enjoyable, I will say. Probably just less enjoyable. So, there's good and bad in the evolution of basketball. That's why I never will be a type of guy to just be like, yeah, this is bad basketball, this is bad hoops. It's different hoops, But there are certain things that make it a little bit better, I would say. Um, like the pace of the situation, like I was saying, that obviously the spacing is atrocious here. We have, let's just pause it right here. One, two, three. He's out of the paint, so we won't count that. But 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people in the paint, and these 2 people about 3 feet out of the paint. Spacing is crazy, but like I said, evolution. Things happen. Shout out to Clyde though. This was cool. Joel Embiid's 70-point performance. I remember watching that game live. That was dope. That was definitely dope. But yeah, I don't know really what else to really do. I was kind of just gonna come on here and vibe out, just see what games are on tonight, which ones should be good. Blazers Nuggets, that should be fire as long as they're healthy. I'm pretty sure both teams are star-wise relatively healthy. But Jokic versus Donovan Clingan, that should be fire. Donovan Clingan's been on a heater recently. I'm really, really high on Donovan Clingan. I think he's going to be real good. Then we have Nets Kings, snooze fest, no disrespect. Knicks Wizards, probably another snooze fest, but the Knicks always play down to competition, so could be a close game. I'm obviously going to be watching that because my Knicks, got to watch that. Timberwolves Celtics, that should be a fire one. That definitely should be a good game. And the Raptors Suns, that's another good game. So if I was putting these on tier lists, this is bottom tier. What do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games. So this is number 5. This is number 4. Top 3 are definitely these 3 right here. Which ones would be the best though? I'm gonna say, I think Timberwolves Celtics probably the best game. It's gonna be number 1 on my tier list of watching, I guess. Then I want the Raptors Suns. I feel like that's gonna be a really good game. It's a sneaky good game. But yeah, I guess I'd put that 2 and then this one 3. This one should be a real good one. I forgot for a split second. We are in the middle of March Madness real quick, so let's look up brackets. Let's look up the March Madness bracket. I'm not a big college basketball fan, but I am a big St. John's fan. Sure, I agree, bro. I am a big St. John's fan. This game happens soon, actually. Am I bugging? Oh, no, 5. I thought it was a midday game. 5 o'clock, though. Shout out to Johnny's. A real good game versus Northern Iowa. Zuby Ejiofor. Let me go full screen for this, actually. Zuby Ejiofor, please fall out of the first round and come to my Knicks in the second round, because the Knicks have the Wizards' second round pick this year. So, since the Wizards are pretty bad, am I still full screen? I am still full screen. But since the Wizards are pretty bad, that's going to be towards the top of the second round. And if Zuby falls, I would love to have Zuby Ejiofor on the Knicks as just a third string injury assurance center. Shout out Mitchell Robinson. He's been healthy so far this year. Love that. But, if he sits out a game because it's back-to-back or whatever it is, if Cat needs a rest, whatever, having a third-string center that is not Ariel Hukporti, no disrespect, that would be real dope, especially if it is Zuby Ejiofor. I like Zuby a lot. Like I said, I don't watch too much college basketball. I'll obviously watch March Madness and everything, but I do watch the Johnnies, and Zuby Ejiofor has really impressed me defensively. I know he's a little undersized for a center, but he reminds me a lot of Isaiah Stewart. And I said this, I've been saying this for a little bit now, and I thought it was really cool. I think it was Stan Van Gundy. He was on the call for their game versus Northern Iowa, and he actually said that he also sees Isaiah Stewart in Zuby Ejiofor. Just the fact that he is a little undersized, but his energy is always 110%. Super switchable. There was multiple times in this Northern Iowa game where Zuby was picking up the guard full court, moving his hips, making him turn a few times before even crossing half court. Not many centers are able to do that. So the defensive versatility of Zuby, I love. And then offensively, he's nothing crazy, but he's a solid passer. He's trying to add some range and get his jump shot. He's able to obviously offensive rebound and just do the dirty work down low too. Again, just reminds me a lot of Isaiah Stewart, and I really, really would love for the Knicks to pick him up in the second round if possible. But who knows? He might be playing himself towards a late first round, maybe slightly outside of the lottery type of pick. The only thing really holding him back is he's 24, I think. Let me look up. Let me just go to Zuby Ejiofor. I think he's 24. There we go. Sports Reference. How old is he? Am I tripping? Does it not say his age? Alright. I guess we'll just do it like this then. Zuby Ejiofor age. Pretty sure he's 20. As of March, he's 21 years old. This literally has to be cap. I thought he was old. What? No way he's 21. I deadass thought he was like 24, bro. What? I mean, 21 isn't super young for a rookie, but he's deadass 21? That's, shit. Yeah, he might, he definitely might play himself into a late first round pick then. Hopefully that doesn't happen for my Knicks' sake, but, if Zuby, if you get all the way to a first round pick, shout out to you, bro. Lots of love. But yeah, you look here in his senior year, bro, like, 2.2 blocks, 1.2 steals in 30 minutes a game, under 30 minutes a game. Crazy. Up to 32% from three. Again, not a super important part of his game, but it's getting there. The 3.5 assists I think is pretty cool too. But if you look at his, per 40, 3 blocks, 1.5 steals, like that defense is crazy. 4.4 offensive rebounds too. He checks a lot of boxes that I really, really value a lot from your center. Like I said, the biggest question marks, if you even want to say it, he's 6'9", slightly undersized, but also like Bam Adebayo is 6'9", he's fine at center. Like I said, Isaiah Stewart, the guy I'm comping him to, 6'8", he's fine at center. And the fact that he's so versatile defensively, it really allows him to play the 4 sometimes. So I really do think that he'll be fine in the NBA. I definitely think he'll be able to translate over. And yeah, I think it's pretty cool. I'm excited to see more St. John's players in the NBA because right now it's just Julian Champagnie, Dennis Jenkins. Kadari Richmond, he got like a 10-day earlier with the Wizards. But out of guys that are like solidified in the NBA, it's pretty much just Julian Champagnie and Dennis Jenkins, unless I'm forgetting someone. I don't think I am. Hopefully I'm not. But like, yeah, you had RJ Lewis, who was on a 2-way for a little bit, never made his debut. Kadari Richmond actually played really well when he was there, but it would be cool to see more Johnnies in the NBA, especially Zuby. That's my guy right there. But yeah, I don't really know. Again, not too sure what else to really do. I was kind of just coming on here to chill. Just, there's times where I'll be on my phone just looking at random stuff on Basketball Reference, looking at random stuff like that. So I figured, might as well live stream, see if anyone else is interested in this type of stuff, if they had any suggestions on what they wanted to deep dive into or whatever. Sometimes I do go on here and try to see how many people I can name on here. This is Niedenhauser, Yannick. I don't know how to say his full name. Yannick Conan Niedenhauser. This is Allen Houston. This guy looks so... Jabari Parker? Yeah. No disrespect. I'm not skipping over the women on purpose. I just am not as big of a WNBA fan, so she looks really familiar. Monique Billings. Don't know that name, actually. All right. Feel like I kind of know this guy too. Nope. Nazir Muhammad. No. Yeah, so I got 3. Solid. If I refresh, will it be new players? Nah, not right. I guess we'll go down the Allen Houston rabbit hole for a second. Um, Shout out Allen Houston, 2-time All-Star. Yeah, I didn't realize how much like careers used to be so much shorter in the NBA because Allen Houston was averaging. I mean, he got hurt, so yeah, but like Allen Houston was just averaging 20 a game, 15 to 20 a game for years, and just retired at 33. Like, it's crazy. Like, who's 33 right now? Kyrie Irving? Kyrie 33? Kyrie might be older than 33. No, yeah, he's 33 right now. Damn, that just kind of made me sad. Because Kyrie just got hurt. Chill, bro. Kyrie, don't have a... No, chill, bro. Kyrie, you got to play at least, like, 30 more years, bro. At least. Shout out Kyrie, bro. I wonder what's going to happen with him if he's going to get the ankle taker. Respectfully, bro, I have never seen or heard a single person call Kyrie Irving the ankle taker. Yeah, he got it. I wonder what's going to happen with Kyrie and Dallas. Because, like, I think personally they probably could just super pivot into... Oh, this is... I was like, wait, Luka's still on the roster? This is last year's roster for them. I think they could almost, like, super pivot into just youth. Because obviously when you look here, like, they have Cooper Flag, they have Max Christie, and Ryan Nembhard, almost said Andrew, but Ryan Nembhard, Derek Lively. They have guys that they can really kind of build around, if that makes sense. Plus whatever draft pick they have this year, they have their own draft pick here. So if that's a AJ DeMonta, Cam Boozer, De'Aaron Peterson, one of those other guys, they definitely have like a base going. Do you just keep some of their vets? Like, you know, obviously Chris Middleton's on an expiring right now, but like maybe they'll bring him back. They have Klay Thompson here still, a guy like PJ Washington, or I didn't realize Najee Marshall was already 28. And then like again Kyrie being included in here. They have a lot of options, but also, like, what do you get? What does a Kyrie Irving trade look like? Let's try to just throw that together. What does... hello, internet? Spell track. There we go. What does... Like, what does that look like? Trades. Oh, Trade Machine, actually, is what I meant to hit. NBA Trade Machine. What does a Kyrie trade really look like? Who would be interested in Kyrie? Who needs a point guard? Obviously, right away, I think of, like, the Rockets. KD and Kyrie back together. I guess let's try to piece that together. Why not? $36 million. Then you probably include Freddie. I'm pretty sure Freddie and Sandorian back there. Boom, that works. Do they have picks? Yeah, they definitely have picks. Damn, I got like a hiccup burp situation going on. They have their own picks. So like this would be their next year's pick. You can send that. This Phoenix pick could be cool. They have Dallas's own pick. I mean, shit, you do something like this and we got a deal. This would be a fire trade. I'm not going to hold you just because Dorian Finney-Smith has been really disappointing. I really liked the signing when it first happened this offseason, but he has not been good really on either side of the ball for the Rockets. Obviously, Freddie has been out this entire season, so if he was healthy, he would be a big part of this team. But at the same time, obviously, you bring in a guy like Kyrie, that's another shooter, ball creator, or ball handler, shot creator on the perimeter, because obviously that's a big thing that the Rockets are struggling with right now. if you send a double onto KD at the end of the game, like the Rockets have been seeing pretty much every single game so far, Kyrie will be able to make those plays, whether that's just a catch and shoot three or that's driving to the basket, making a play from there. Obviously, he is just way more of a guy you have to worry about than a guy like Amen Thompson or Tari Eason or even Alperen Sengun at that rate. So this would be really, really cool. This is definitely a trade that I think could happen. Who else needs point guards? The Suns kind of need a point guard, but also like the Heat obviously are always tied to star trades. I know people are saying like Kawhi to Detroit. How would Kyrie look in Detroit? It would be more of a shooting guard because obviously you have Cade, but we've seen that with that would kind of be like that'd be like the Luka Kyrie trade 2.0 in a way. Do they have? Oh, I didn't realize that. We do not need this to be a three-teamer. Just do it like this. Two teams. Bro, get the Rockets out of here, bro. I do not have them selected. What are we talking about? Just these two. There we go. I'm pretty sure with Tobias Harris contract, they'd pretty easily be able to do this. Tobias Harris and need 10 mil. I mean, Kevin Huerter you can throw in there. Ron Holland but like you're not giving up Ron Holland for Kyrie. I mean, does this just work or what? Oh, we can't aggregate. No, bro. We gotta. This is in the off season. We're not doing this right now. You still can't. What? You still can't aggregate him? All right. Well, then it would be Tobias, and that makes it a little harder to do. I mean, I guess you could just do Caris LeVert, respectfully. Boom, that works. And then they have a lot of seconds. No first round draft capital? Really? They just have their own? I mean, I guess what would they have traded away for draft picks? Nothing. So yeah, but I mean, I guess they have Minnesota's draft pick. Yeah, I mean this would work. And then it would be what? Cade, Kyrie, Asar, Jalen Duren, and who would that? I mean, they could, I guess, bump Asar down to the 4 and then start someone else. Duncan Robinson, I'm bugging. So, yeah, it would be Cade, Kyrie, Duncan Robinson, Asar, Jalen Duren. I really like that lineup. That would be fire. And then off their bench, they still got, like, Dennis Jenkins. They still got Beef Stew. They still got Ron Holland. Yeah, that would be a solid ass trade. I know, again, they're trying to, like, the Clippers and Detroit, they're trying to do this Kawhi situation, which, I mean, is it 100% guaranteed Kawhi gets traded? I don't think so. But possibility for sure. Same thing, Tobias Harris going back to LA. But yeah, he makes a lot more money. So Duncan Robinson, never mind. We're valid. They could take on a little bit more money. They have plenty of room. This though, they would need to give up more. They would need to give up more for Kawhi than a guy like Kyrie. Like they would probably have to include Ron Holland in this. Which I know Pistons fans really like Ron Holland. I think having a guy like Asar makes it a little easier to give up a guy like Ron Holland. But yeah, obviously that would suck. But then yeah, like you're still looking like a real solid team here because you would have. I mean, losing Duncan Robinson and Ron, those are two real players for the Pistons in that Kyrie trade. They really only were giving up Tobias Harris, which again is another real player. I kind of honestly looking at the value of things, I kind of like that Kyrie trade a little bit better. I wish we could almost like. Yeah, I can't even go back to it. But you really didn't give up too much. Like, they really, and the aspect of Kyrie next to Cade Cunningham, again, I feel like that's a lot like the Luka Doncic pairing with Kyrie. Just that bigger guard, ball dominant guy allows Kyrie to be more of an off ball threat, but also he obviously has the ability to take the ball out of his hands, give that, be that release valve. Um, yeah, and I feel like that fit would really work, and it would be way cheaper. Obviously, Kawhi is a better player as of now, but I want to go back. I want to go back to that Kyrie trade because, shoo, oh my God, I forgot that they have that bug. I want to go back to that Kyrie trade because I really, really like that fit. It was Kyrie. Oh my God, all these pop-up ads. Kyrie, Tobias Harris, Karis LeVert. That's it. Yeah, and then throw a first round pick in there. Give you your 2027 first. And honestly, like, I think this is solid return. Obviously you have the expiring contract of Toby, so that would really interest the Mavericks. I think Karis LeVert, they could just have him chilling on the team. They could try to build his value up because he will also be on an expiring, and that could be attractive to certain teams. And then they get the first round pick. I really do like this trade. I think this would be real good for the Pistons. Kyrie, we've seen he's able to kind of lock in, buy into a defensive-oriented team and be able to do that. Obviously, the Pistons have so much defensive infrastructure that it really won't be an issue having a smaller guard like Kyrie. And then, yeah, man, I'm just thinking about that pairing of Kyrie next to Cade. That'd be real nice. Yeah, I don't know. I want to know more about the Cade Cunningham injury. I don't know if anything has really came out about that. Cade Cunningham lung isn't as bad as it sounds. That's from CBS News. Could he return from the New York Times? See the play where he suffered that? Yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll go to ESPN and just see what they're talking about here. I know they said, yeah, it's considered mild. And there's some optimism. This is important. I want to try to read through this. Like, obviously they're not going to say right away, yeah, he's probably not going to be back. Or, yeah, he'll be back. So I really want to just look and try to figure this out. Because, like, some optimism. That doesn't sound too good. Some optimism means like when you're looking on the bright side, when you're trying your hardest to be like, yeah, this could work out. There's only a little bit of that saying that he'll be back for the start of the playoffs, which is April 18th. How long from now is April 18th? 1 week, 2 week, basically 3 weeks, right? Am I bugging? 1 week, 2 week, 3 week. Yeah, basically 3 weeks away. That'd be tough. That would definitely be tough. And if he's not back for the start of the playoffs, like, it really depends on who the Pistons match up with in the first round. Right now, I'm pretty sure it's just, like, I think the worst case scenario for them is to have the Charlotte Hornets win the play-in tournament, and then they have to go up against that team. Whenever they played, it was pretty close. Obviously, you have the super high-powered offense of the Hornets with the high-powered defense of the Pistons. But with no Cade Cunningham, I do think that there could be a situation where they just don't have enough firepower to keep up with the Hornets. And then at that rate, it's like, that's tough. I do think the Hornets, especially as of recent, have been playing really good basketball. So that'd be rough. Obviously, Miami, too. Like, they've been looking really good. Orlando, Philly. I think best case scenario here is Philly loses the first part of the game or the play-in tournament and then wins that second matchup, and they're the matchup for the Pistons. Just because, like, obviously by then, like, Paul George will have missed so much time, so you don't know how he'll look. You have Tyrese Maxey still dealing with his injury. Joel Embiid obviously is always, question marks around his health. So I feel like that would be the best situation for them. But if they get matched up with like a Charlotte, Miami, Orlando, things could get rough. And then you could see a situation where they're rushing Cade back, and obviously with a lung situation, a punctured lung, or well, I don't want to speak out of turn here. What's the actual a collapsed lung? With a collapsed lung, I don't know. Like I doubt you could really do much conditioning with that. So then you got to kind of think about him working himself back and then getting thrown into playoff intensity basketball. Yeah, like I hope everything works out for Cade, but it's just a lot to think about and a lot of factors that unfortunately he's not going to be able to really control. And that just, yeah, that's tough because then at that point in that second round, as the standings are right now, they would probably go up against Cleveland or, Toronto. That would be, again, a better situation for them to go up against Toronto. But, yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty sure if they make it to the second round, Cade Cunningham would be back. It's just at that point, again, he missed so much basketball that it's like, hopefully he's able to be good and play and all of that. But, I don't know, man. That's just so unfortunate timing-wise of all of that. Real quick, I want to see the numbers of JT on the year. 7 games for Jason Tatum, 30 minutes a game. 39% from the field, 29% from 3. He's taking 10 threes a game. I don't know why when I'm watching Jason Tatum. It doesn't seem like he's taking 10 threes a game. Is that a career high for him? It's got to be, right? No. Last year he took 10. Second highest, though. Second highest career high. Percentage-wise, it's got to be a career high, right? Yeah, percentage-wise, it's a career high. He's taken his highest percentages from 3. Or highest percent. You guys don't get what I'm saying. But yeah, just under 20 points per game, rebounding really well, playmaking. Obviously, last year, you see this 6 assists per game. That, I do think last year he was taking on more of a point forward role. Now, he's definitely not, he's not bringing the ball up as much. Obviously, he's only played 7 games coming off an Achilles. I didn't expect him to instantly just come back as Jason Tatum. So that's why I think some of his numbers are down. But overall, when I'm watching him, I'm really happy with his rebounding. The fact that he's still able to crash the glass and close out possessions like that. That part of it still is in his game. He's made some real good passes. I know I was just saying he's not the point forward anymore, but he still is being that connective passer. Especially in his first game, there was a bunch of passes he made that just didn't. They didn't knock down and they didn't become assists because his teammates missed, but he was still able to keep that flow of the offense going. It's really just, the scoring aspect of it. Obviously, you see he's shooting 29% from 3, by far a career low. I'm sure that's going to come back up. And because of that, he's shooting also a career low in field goal percentage. But I do think that's kind of expected. I want to see... I don't think, just eye test wise, he's not getting to the rim as often. Let's see if that's true or not. He's taking about 19% of his shots at the rim, which is up from last year, surprising enough. But overall, a little bit lower than what he's really seen throughout his career. And then you see he's taken over half his shots from 3. So he is taking a lot more of those threes. But you see more assisted too. So he's playing more of that off the ball role, like I was mentioning. It will be interesting to see how much of this will be permanent, throughout the playoffs. Is he going to continue more of this slightly more off ball role, or will he be able to play himself back into shape, if you want to call it that, and return back to being the 1A, 1B type of thing with Jaylen Brown. But Jaylen Brown, man, what a season for him. 28 points per game. I never would have thought Jaylen Brown was able to do that. No disrespect to him. He just didn't cross my mind that it was like that. I know he had this All NBA season where he really like popped off, but I really thought he was going to be around like that 25 point per game. 28 though, it was up to I think 29, maybe even 30 at one point in the year too. Shout out to JB, Jaylen Brown, definitely having a great year. But yeah, I mean, we're coming down to the stretch, the home stretch of the season, real close to the playoffs, and I cannot wait. Should be a really good playoffs. But I think this is gonna do it for today's stream. Like I said, this was my first one. I think we did it for about an hour, which is pretty dope, right? Where do I have it? Yeah, almost an hour on the dot. Pretty funny. Yeah, I don't know how consistent these things are gonna be. If this is gonna be the first time or the start of many, I don't know. But it was pretty fun talking to you guys, even though it wasn't too many people active in the chat. Still, like I said, I do some of this basically all the time on my phone. So I was like, you know what? Let me go live and see if anyone else is interested in doing this. But I do think this is going to be it for today. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, follow all the socials in the description. And yeah, thanks for hanging out.